Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin, Master Certified Life Coach and Weight Loss Coach.
And I'm Sandra Priestley. I am a leadership coach for female entrepreneurs, and I am a feng shui practitioner. Hi, Leigh.
Hi, Sandra. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. I've had such a good day, but like a really good day today, but a good week. So yeah. I'm excited to chat this week. Today I am drinking Prosecco, and I didn't bring the bottle, so I have no idea what brand it is, but it's good.
Wow.
So there's that.
Like, we're in sync lately.
Did you forget your bottle?
Prosecco. I didn't bring my bottle either.
Oh,
but if you can tell, I got some Prosecco, and is
such a nice glass.
Oh, Empress 19, but La Marca Prosecco is what I have.
Oh, so nice. Very pretty. I love the flute.
Delish.
Awesome. So okay. I want to talk, because I promised last week I would tell you about my rebounder experience. Okay,
and
so
tell everyone what a rebounder is, because it doesn't sound like what you're getting ready to say.
Oh, it's a little mini trampoline, and I don't know if they're like, are there different? I know there's different brands. Mine is a Bellicon. I've been asked this repeatedly, but I don't know if there's a certain brand that's called, or a rebounder. Anyway, but I have been told for years, my mother-in-law was like, "Yo, you've got to just go a couple minutes on the rebounder. So good for your lymphatic system. And it's like amazing for weight loss." And so she had given us this Bellicon rebounder. And honestly, I mean, it's fancy. It comes in its own little carry-in case. I'm thinking, I'm never taking this to a hotel. Like, why does it need a carry-in case? And then I realized maybe it was just so I could store it away, because I'm not using this thing. And it was like, seriously. And my husband were like, bring it out every once in a while, jump on it once, and then just leave it in the middle of the room. And I'm annoyed, and I put it away. And so, of course, when I was about 40, I don't know, maybe 43, 42, 43, I started getting lumps in my breast, like just cysts. And the doctors don't tell you, how you can fix them, how you can help them. And so I'd had this, like, recommended to me was this rebounder just to cleanse the lymphatic system. And I'm like, I tried to love it. Like, I would jump on this just 2 minutes a day. I'd jump on it for 2 minutes a day, and it was the longest 2 fucking minutes of my life. Like, I'm telling you. And then I watched a video of a nutritionist, a holistic nutritionist, and she was talking about this rebounder and how amazing it was, and how amazing it was for your lymphatic system, and what your lymphatic system does to increase your immunity. And I'm thinking, it's COVID, this can't be bad. And that, it's good for your joints, of course. And I'm 50. And so I have a few issues, old injuries, right? Old skating injuries in the back, old accident in the neck. And so I can't run anymore. Not that I ever loved it. So that's just my sidebar there. But it's supposed to be more effective than jogging. You burn more weight. What is it? Something like 20 minutes on the trampoline burns the same amount of calories as an hour running, or something crazy like that. Like, it's like, the insane. And it's 68% more efficient than jogging, they say, NASA says. NASA uses it to increase bone mass, because when the astronauts are up there, they lose a lot of bone density. And so the rebounder strengthens the bone mass. Is that not crazy?
That is so crazy.
Like, I mean, I know. Like, it's just improves your balance, improves your core strength. Like, it's so good.
And you just jump on it, or do you run on it?
I just jump on it. Like, I just like bounce on it.
Do you do 20 minutes a day?
Sometimes I do an hour.
Are you serious?
I'm not kidding you. Like I went from hating 2 minutes
Yeah.
to being obsessed with this damn thing. It's almost embarrassing. I
Oh,
did a video in my private group. I would not do this probably online yet, maybe one day, but jumping.
oh, and you were doing the whole,
And not the whole thing, because
okay.
it was hard to hear me, but like just at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I swear there's a couple other things. Like it's not just for the calorie burn, right?
Yeah.
But for me, it's like it does way more. I'm telling you, once you get onto it. And I think it's kind of like I used to, when I worked at the gym, I used to say to people, like, the elliptical machine is really hard for the first 5 minutes. And then after you pass the first five, you can literally go for an hour. And that's how the rebounder is for me. But I swear it's like I get on there and I jump and it's like I'm a kid again.
Oh,
Like it's just fun, right? Like it's just fun. So you just get and just like bounce and bounce and bounce. And I joke with my friend and I say, it just bounces the stupid out of me. Like whenever I think that I've got fears or limiting beliefs or like any ridiculous thoughts, I
yeah.
get on the trampoline and I'm smarter and more fun.
Well, and do you know why?
Just,
Because your
why?
resistance is gone. If you feel like a kid again, remember,
Oh
we didn't
yeah,
have resistance as children because we didn't have all this life that we had navigated through
ridiculous.
and picked up all of these silly beliefs and
Yeah,
restrictions, and we were free
right.
because we,
It's just like if I got on the swing set again, right?
yes, because I will say
Same.
being on the swing set with the grandkids
Yeah.
brings you back, or it did
Mhm.
me. I was a kid
It's
again,
so
like with my stomach all, you know how your stomach used to go up into your throat when you,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I know. It's so fun. But then there's another thing. Like tip for exercising. This is the best one ever. Is habit stacking.
Mm,
Like doing one thing you don't necessarily love with something that you do love, right? Like when you go for a walk with a friend and you're already in the habit of something. So what I was doing was I was already in the habit of working out in my basement. Like I would do beach body workouts. So I was already in the habit of getting up early. I was already in the habit of going and working out. But I also talk to my biz bestie every morning on this Voxer app. So I thought, okay, I already have the habit of getting up in the morning. I'm going to jump on the trampoline while I'm talking to her on Voxer.
mhm.
Okay, best thing ever. Best thing ever. Because I've got no resistance. I am pretty free with the mouth. Like I'm pretty chatty and I can burn through, even if I'm just talking to myself on, like, you can talk to yourself on that Voxer app, right? So even if it's just like me sort of riffing out like a post that I want to write
Yeah.
or a course that I'm thinking of, it is awesome. And I swear my cysts are smaller.
Mm,
No kidding.
wow.
Like, and you know, that I probably, if I went back to the breast center, they'd say, okay, I don't think so. This is not possible. You're just getting older. But like I'm telling you, I've been doing this now for about 5 weeks. I should go back. I think by 5 weeks now. And I swear, like it's, yeah,
Can you feel the
like I'm
difference?
obsessed with this rebounder. Yes, I do. Like I totally feel the
And
difference.
here's
Like,
the thing is that when you're doing the rebounder and you're
mhm,
like, this is going to help the cyst in my breast,
right.
and you
It will.
believe that it will.
Yeah.
Like if
It's so
you,
true.
it's not if you say it will, it's not if you, okay, I'm just going to say that if I do this, I'll get $1 million. It's not that.
Yeah.
It's that
Yeah.
knowing.
It's the knowing.
Yes.
Yeah. It's the full belief. Well, it's like with feng shui, right? Like
Mhm.
I always say it's the belief in the thing that makes it happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And it shows you your magic. That's why when I would practice, and I would be in someone's home and I would tell them what kind of thing they needed in their space right there.
Mm-hmm.
like the elements, the colors, the textures. But so I would give them that piece. And then I would tell them, here's what it means. Here's what this piece
Yes.
needs to mean. And I can't pick that out for you.
Mhm.
And so they would go, and it never failed. Within 2 days, they would be on the phone going, oh my gosh, I got the
Right.
perfect piece. I cannot even believe it. This is
Yeah.
awesome. I'm putting it up. And then a week or so later, I'm getting the call. Oh my gosh, I just manifested this.
It
And,
totally worked.
and it
Yeah.
used to freak me out because I was
Yes.
like, oh my gosh, is this magic? No, it's
Yeah.
not magic. It is because they connected their wanting and their beliefs
Yes.
and believed when they saw that in their home, it was reflecting that back to them. And then they went out and used their magic and manifested it.
Right.
And
It's
it's
so true.
freaking amazing.
It's so, so true.
Mhm.
And I always say to people too, like, you know, that I used to get like, I used to be so excited, right? When people would come to me and say, holy shit, Sandra, this totally works. This feng shui stuff, it totally works. This happened and this happened and this and all. I can't even believe it. And I would get so excited, but almost shocked. Like, oh my gosh, I gave them a tip or I told them what to do, or I was in their house, and now all of a sudden they met their soulmate and, you know, sold their business for 3 times the amount and, you know, did the impossible. And I used to be so excited, but so shocked. And now it's like, I'm so excited, but it's, and of course, you
Right.
know,
Of
now
course.
it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, and of course.
Mhm.
Like, of course, but it's totally the belief in the thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's like absolutely the belief in the thing that makes it happen. And you know, even when you watch the show The Secret, right?
Mhm.
That it's like it's so much about just like what are you believing?
And I love The Secret because I understand what they're trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved the version with Abraham. I'm not fond of the new version because they have watered it down and made it kind of a joke. Like, oh,
Really?
the law of
I haven't seen
attraction.
it.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
and really it was a simplified version of the law of attraction because the way they made it sound was like you just have to go out and say, I want this and think about it and it will show up. Well, that's not true because
no.
you can think about your goal all day long. And if you're thinking about it with any sense of lack or
Yeah.
that hurt in your heart, like, oh, but I want it so bad, you're not close to it. It
No,
is that
exactly.
knowing that we were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's when you
Yeah.
have that knowing that you're in the
Right.
vicinity of it and it's coming.
Yeah.
And that's what they didn't touch on. And that's the and granted, they made it neutral enough and easy enough that it attracted a gazillion people. Everyone
Right.
knows what The Secret is now. But
Yeah.
I think it would have been more impactful if there were a little bit more meat.
A little bit more deep. Yeah.
Mhm. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah. I haven't seen the new one, so I
Yeah.
can't comment, but I do really love, and I do think there's something about the law of action as well, right? Like you have to believe it, you have to get so close, like it just feels like it's already there.
Well,
And also you have to
that-
take action towards it.
and that's where the inspired voice
Action
comes
comes
in
from.
that
Yeah.
says, do this, do this, do this. And I
Mhm.
remember Joe Vitale was saying that um, in The Secret, like when
Yeah.
the universe speaks, like act, don't sit and
Yes.
wait, act, act, act. And
Mhm.
he was always one of my favorite. There was something about that one day literally got me off of my ass. It was like, what are you
Mhm.
going to do? And
Mhm.
when I was recording Feng Shui Your Way,
Mhm.
gosh, I don't know if that was 2008, 2000. It was a long freaking time ago. Um, our season finale or series finale was Joe Vitale.
Really?
Yes. And
Wow.
when we in the episode's still up, like you can Google it and see it. But when we pulled up to his house the day before to get everything ready for the shoot, I was sitting there looking at his house with Victoria, the producer, and I just started crying. And I was like,
gosh.
you do not understand how I feel right now being in Joe Vitale's driveway, getting ready to go in and just talk with him like normal stuff, you know?
Wow. I
It
had
was
no idea you interviewed him.
with the
Oh,
interview, I feng shuied his office.
you feng shuied his office?
Yeah, it was for yeah, it was a
Oh my
series called Feng
gosh.
Shui Your Way. Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I'll send it to you.
And what happened? What happened for him?
Well, I think he's doing pretty good.
I think so.
It was so interesting because
Wow.
he had a limiting belief posted on his wall because he was telling me, I want to create, this much residual income each month. And, giving me all his goals. And I walked over and the camera's rolling. And so this is on, it made the cut of the show, like it's in the show.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm like, you're asking for $1 million, but on your wall, like you're declaring this, yet you're telling me you want 10 million. So isn't this an old goal?
Oh my gosh.
So it was fun because we got to update that and then put the new one up. But no, you've got to listen to the inspired thought. That's where it's at. And it doesn't matter how close you are, because sometimes you're being inched in the direction you need to go because you've got your feet planted. And it's
so true.
Maybe take this baby step and this baby step. And I think of all of the baby steps that I've taken and how much they paid off.
Yeah.
So,
and I think I've just been really thinking about this lately too. So often I have listened to my inspired thought, and I'm learning to take action on it right away. Like if it feels right in my gut, like I do it. One of the things though that I notice is that I won't stick with it long enough for it to pay off a lot of the time. And I think, right, it's like some things, sometimes it just happens when you let go of the timeline and you let go of the neediness, and you can just go like, oh man, like, isn't this going to be incredible? And you kind of step into it. This belief is like, it's mine. It's inevitable in divine right timing. It'll happen. And then a lot of times if I attach some timeline or some neediness or some lack to it, of course, it's like always outside of my reach. And so one of the things is that I have noticed in my past, because it's all about awareness and about learning, learning everything that I do all day long, I think about. But in my past, it's like I get this inspired action or this inspired idea, thought, and then I've got it attached, this lack, and then it takes forever to come to fruition. And I pull the pin on it because I think, oh, fuck it, this isn't going to work. And then I switch gears. And so now I'm learning to it's not that it was the wrong action. It was that I had the wrong energy tied to it.
Yeah.
That's the huge thing,
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a good post I'm going to write today.
Because I had one of those moments this week. Like some fears set in, and and I know where it comes from. It's old belief patterns that I have about myself and what I'm worthy of and all of the stuff. And I was really I had a fear moment. What if the world, whatever. And it really wasn't about the world.
Yeah.
But I was talking to my coach and I was like, I'm really afraid. What if I can't do all this? And what if, do I just stay safe and not put myself out there? And what if this happens? And she's got her arms crossed. She's like, are you serious right now?
Yeah. You feng shui Joe Vitale's house. There's nothing you can't do. That's what I'm thinking. I'm still back in Joe Vitale's
You're like, yours,
mansion.
yeah.
Yeah.
But, and then, so we started talking, she's pulling stuff out and took it in a whole different direction. And it hit me that I'm just carrying around a bunch of old bullshit that's not real. That, you know how people say things and we take them as truth and this is the way things are. And then we, and so it's that kind of thing that I thought I had let all of that go. And it just popped back up. But it's so cool because of the place that I'm in right now. I can identify what's going on. If I need help, I call my coach, like, let's walk through this, because I need someone that's not in the middle of it, that's looking from up here to ask objective questions to me.
Like, how important a coach is, though, really, like, as I just stop you in mid thought, but like, because I feel like I'm a pretty kick-ass coach, whether it's life coach, whether it's branding coach, whether it's leadership coach. Like, I think I'm pretty kick-ass, truthfully. But I suck at coaching myself.
No, you don't, because you know when you need help. You don't.
Oh, that's true.
You know when you need help, because it takes some, I'm going to say, wisdom to look at yourself and know what you do for a living and go, I'm not asking myself the right questions. I've got blinders on. I need someone else to ask me questions. And we do this for a living. This is why I think everybody needs a coach, because even the coach needs a coach. Like,
even the coach needs a coach. We're too close to our own shit.
Yes.
And we're too close to the outcome, and we're too close to our limiting beliefs. And sometimes we don't even know that they're there because they're still just crawling around in the back of our subconscious mind. And it's like, so we're going to hold ourselves back always. And it takes that person that's like objectively looking at you and going,
wait,
what?
With no judgment or emotion.
Like, what did you just say? And let's unpack that, or let's talk about that. And where did that come from? And for sure. I couldn't be without a coach, I don't think.
No.
Or a friend like yourself, where I can just pick up the phone and go, okay.
Or when I can randomly call you on a Monday night for a 10-minute phone call, and we're on the phone for an hour and a half. And thank you for my necklace, by the way. I love it so much.
You're welcome.
It just fits so well with my North Star.
It does. It does. It looks so pretty.
So it's like worthy and enough is holding my North Star. How does that feel?
Oh, I love the symbolism of that.
That's the story I'm telling.
I love it. So cool.
Yes. Well, it looks like we are just about out of time. Like, we might have a couple minutes. Yeah.
Well, I want to tell, do you want to tell this story about, I think you were going to tell the story about how you're preparing for your presentation. Were you not a couple
I was not going to share that story, but I guess because you asked, I won't tell the whole story because we only have a few minutes, but you know, I've got this presentation. It was halfway sold out a week ago. I haven't checked the status of it yet. They released it 3 weeks before the event. The first week, half of it sold out. And Tony was like, yeah, they usually don't sell out like that. Like, that doesn't happen. So then my anxiety level went, whew. And this week I recorded myself with my written script. And I turned on Zoom, turned off the video because I didn't want to look at myself. I just wanted to hear how I sounded and if my message was getting across right. And so I recorded myself and I'm reading. And as I'm reading, I'm like, throw a story in. So I throw a story in and then I lose my place. So I kind of stop. And it's that kind of, I haven't listened to it. And I will, because I need to kind of see if I'm being hard on myself or not. But what it showed me is that when I'm reading from a script, I'm not authentic. And when I'm not tapped in, and listening to that voice, I'm not as relatable or real as if I was
Yeah.
just speaking from the heart, so to
Just
speak.
off the cuff.
Yes. And being inspired to say things and saying them. So when we get off of this call, because I will be in the vortex, I am going to just start every night doing 30 minutes. And I'm going to forget any kind of structure because I'm crazy about structure. I need this. And I mean, so this is very out of the box for me. I do this in my support group. I used to have a structured agenda. And then I was like, no one's participating. We're just going to have an open discussion. And
cool.
I prepare nothing. Now I'll coach them when they give me the opportunity. But anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. And it is terrifying and exhilarating all in the same moment. And I was listening to a rampage of appreciation when I was getting ready to meet with you for the podcast. And Abraham, that's what she was talking about. You know, she was talking about being in that moment and listening and acting and it was like, this is what you're supposed to do. I don't need to be scripted because this cannot be scripted.
Right.
You know,
well, our podcast, I mean, like, we literally do not know where we're going to go when we start.
No, we have topics.
Like, we have an idea and then we never go there.
Today, out of the 4,
did we hit any of them?
Topics, we hit 1.
Okay.
But it's just like one thing leads to something else, which leads to something else, which leads to an aha moment. And it's where the magic is.
It's totally where the magic is, just like being divinely led, really. Right. Yeah.
But
like, could you imagine if Esther Hicks had a script? No,
Esther Hicks listening to her.
Yeah. No. No one would listen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's really, it's just like whatever comes through. I know I did the same thing. I was asked to speak at a Super Saturday when I was a Star Diamond coach for Beachbody. And so I was asked to speak and I went, oh, sure. And then panicked, but sure, I can do that. And just after I had said that I was going to come, this like big speaker, they had got this arranged for this big speaker to come and speak at the same time as me. And I'm like, oh no. And then corporate was going to be there. And I'm thinking, oh man, like, what am I going to do? So this guy from corporate the night before had asked me about myself, you know, and knew that I was one of the speakers, one of the featured speakers. And so I said, well, you know, one of my goals is to stand on stage at the national summit, stand on stage and speak. And he's like, oh, okay, isn't that cute? You know? And so I never even really, I kind of thought like, oh, okay, well, screw off. And I let it go. I wasn't even bothered by it. I should have been, probably. And the next day I stood up, I went on stage, and I had no notes. I had done the exact same thing as you're going to do. I had gone through and I just like, I had no idea. I kind of had a rough idea of what I was going to say. And I just kind of said the speech over and over in my mind, but every single time I said it, it was completely different. Right. I was staying with a girl. We were staying in the same hotel room, a friend of mine. And I'd say this speech and she'd go, that one's amazing. And then I would say another one. She's like, holy shit. But what about the first one? I'm like, I don't know what I said. And like, it literally just like this. Yes. I had several different speeches. And so in the morning, she's like, what are you going to say? And I'm like, I have no idea, but I'll stand on stage and whatever comes out of my mouth will come out of my mouth. She is shitting her pants for me. And I am like, so in the meantime, this big speaker, he's got notes. He's got them all sitting out on the stage. He's like trying to read his notes, but they're on the ground because there's like no podium or anything. And his speech fell flat a bit. And I mean, people love him anyway. So, sure. And then I stood up, no notes, no nothing, no idea what was going to come out of my mouth. And they just gave me a mic, and I went and I got off the stage. And the same dude that treated me like I was a tiny little girl, that all I, like, oh, isn't that cute? You've got this, you're going to stand on stage one, dear girl. He follows me when I come out, and he goes, now this is what I need you to do in order to get on stage. Like, it was just this like, oh, wait, holy shit, she's not kidding. And then he was after me, telling me all of the things that I needed to achieve, and all the things, like, in order to just increase my visibility so that I could be on stage. And I'm just like, yes. And then I ended up walking away from coaching, but it doesn't matter. The thing was like, there's magic in just stepping out and just speaking from the heart, or just writing without overthinking,
and not trying to control it all, to let it organically show up.
Yeah. And I really like the friend that was with me. She's like, what if you forget what you're going to say? Like, how am I going to forget what I have to say? It's not planned.
Yeah, I have no fucking idea what I'm going to say.
I don't know. It's just going to come out. I mean, I have some gist of an idea. Like, I know I'm not saying anything I don't believe.
Right.
So, like, I'm just talking the stuff I know. So it's going to be easy.
Yeah.
And I had so many comments like, holy shit, how did you do that? Oh my God, you're amazing. Like, how did you do that? You had nothing written down. Did you memorize it? I'm like, no, I didn't even know what I was going to say when I stepped on stage. It's a little scary, but it's a little scary.
So I know it's
scary, a lot scary,
but isn't it also this feeling of fuck yes?
Yes, totally. Like, it's this powerful, I don't know. It's this like empowered fear. It's not even fear. It's not even fear. It's not the right word for it. It's like, I describe it as like this whoosh effect. It's like this feeling of like, like, big deep breath. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Like going up a roller coaster.
Next,
don't really
level.
know. Next level. It's the next level. Yeah. It's like, yeah.
Well, we are officially past time now.
Oh, damn it. Okay. Well,
so,
you know what you should do? Are you going to record yourself doing this speech?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I can't.
If Lily goes, I'll see if she'll record it.
Oh, yes.
And if not, there are plenty of people there. I'm sure I can get someone, give them my phone, and so
even just put it on the podcast. Record yourself. Put it on the podcast. Episode Leigh. Episode Leigh. Here's a happy half hour with Leigh, and we kicked Sandra out.
Sandra was not in Cedar Park that day. Oh,
she was not.
Wouldn't it be great to come to an event like that together? Of course, we would just talk the whole time.
We would forget there were other people there.
We'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, did y'all want something?
I know. And it would be just as entertaining.
Yes, it would, for sure. Well, thank you, Sandra. This has been so much fun, and it goes by so quick. Mm-hmm. Thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.
Bye.